everyone, Lights and Gear is back with another flashlight review, and today I am reviewing a light from a company for whom I was previously unfamiliar with. The company is Powertac, and this is their 1300 lumen M5, which I'll be talking about today. Powertac does have a whole line of lights. If you visit their website, you will see quite a complete line from the smallest to larger lights of all description. And many of them, like this, are USB rechargeable and 100% tactical. So today, as I say, is the M5 from Powertac. And the box is fairly attractive and has lots of good information on it, and pretty much picture here of the light on the box, which I believe is the size of the light, of the actual size. It says here it has extreme grip knurling, and indeed it does. We'll get to that here in due course. The pocket clip is reversible and has a low battery indicator. It also uses the magnetic charging system here to charge the battery internally. So a bit of information on the side of the box. The top output is 1300 lumens, beam distance 220 meters, it's impact resistant to 2 meters, and it can also be submerged up to 2 meters. It's IPX8 waterproof. And more information on the back of the light. Will even tell you about the charging indicators on it that turn red when you start charging and then go blue when the charge is finished. The low battery indicator will also do much this. Well, the low battery indicator will show that the battery is starting to lose its charge when it lights up. And so, anyway, here's a little brief look at the lumens, which we'll get to in a moment as well. And this is the LED, the Cree XML2U3, which is in this case, it's a very white, very white tinted LED. So no crazy tint colors there at all. So let's open the box and away we go. So here you are. Flashlight is right here, charging cable is right here. There is also another envelope inside the box. And within here is the instruction manual. So we'll be referring to that. And there's also a small packet here of accessories. These are mainly for attaching the light to a keychain, and there's an extra O-ring in here too. So those are the accessories, and there's a pocket clip already attached to the light. Oh yes, and there's also a lanyard inside the box as well, and here that is right here. So let's get into a bit more detail on the light itself. This is just under 5 inches long, so it's of good size and is rather a typical size for a flashlight that does use an 18650 battery. Which reminds me, they do also give you the battery, so that's part of the accessories, and you will find it inside the light when it arrives. So here you go, the Powertac 2600 mAh 3.6 volt 18650 battery. So they give you their own brand, and it works just as well as any 18650 battery would be expected to. And with the magnetic charging that the light features, the battery will charge, of course, internally inside the light if that's what you choose to do. Over to the manual. We'll open this up here and show you the modes and the output, and there are a good range of outputs, starting with Firefly, which is only about half a lumen, and then it goes to low, medium, high, and turbo, and then has strobe as the one and only emergency mode. So 480 lumens is what you get out of high, 50 lumens on low, and 180 on medium. So the as I said, the range of outputs are pretty good. I can get more or a little bit more into the battery acceptance, but basically the 18650 is what they do recommend, and it pretty much does not work according to the outputs here if you try to use a different size battery. Now down here they do say that if you want to use two CR123 disposable batteries, you can do that, and as you can see here, it offers Firefly low and medium when using those two disposable types. Now what they do not recommend is that you use rechargeable batteries of the same size as the CR123s. That would actually be a rechargeable 16340, and even further to that, a rechargeable 18350. Now those batteries will fit in the light, but you won't get much. You won't get a whole lot of modes out of them. I did try to use a 16340 just for a brief experiment, and it doesn't really even give you the same modes as the CR123 does. You don't even get Firefly out of a 16340. Pretty much only gives you like a low and a medium. So anyway, just stick to these two battery types and you'll be fine. Obviously the 18650 is what they give you, and there'd be no reason in the world why you would really have to use anything else unless you're in an extreme emergency and absolutely might need a CR123. If you were in a dire emergency, you could use those. Taking a look at the light in a little more detail, here is the side switch, which changes the modes. On the back is the actual power switch, or the tail switch. So to turn the light on, you do have to click the switch and then click it off. And while it's on, you would of course press the side switch to change the modes, just like this. And then again, to turn it off, you do have to click the side switch. If you want strobe at any time while the light is on, you can press and hold, and it will give you instant strobe. And then to clear out of the strobe, you can press the button once, and that'll take you right back down to Firefly, or if you're already in strobe, you can click the tail cap and turn it off. Now there is mode memory on the light, so it will of course remember the last mode. Now what most lights do not do that the M5 does do is it memorizes strobe. So just be aware of that. If you have it on in strobe and you turn it off and then turn it back on, you will come back to the strobe mode. And I don't know of any other flashlight that I own or have ever reviewed which has done that. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And as I say, the only way you can get out of strobe like that is to press the switch, and then it'll take you down to Firefly, and then turn it off from there, and then when you turn it back on, it'll come back on in Firefly. So if there's a chance that somebody may want a flashlight pretty much just for self-defense, the fact of it turning on and turning off in strobe might be a plus for them. So that's something to keep in mind. The LED is right here, of course, and this is a smooth reflector, so it gets a pretty good beam distance. Let me just click it and turn it off here. And the name is right here on the side, which you can easily read. And on the other side is M5. And it also says here on the head to click the tail cap to charge, which leads me to the charging feature. And here's the cable right here. This is magnetic, as we said, almost looks like an earbud. So with this, you just attach it to the side like that, completely magnetic. So just attach it to the side, plug your other end, of course, into any USB source, and away you go. As soon as you plug it in, the side switch over here will glow in red, and when it's finished charging, it'll turn to blue. So you'll have the illuminated switch here indicating where you are in the charging process. and you can use the light while it's charging. The cord is not particularly long here, not long at all, but you can use the light while it's in the middle of a charge. You'll pretty much just get low, and I believe you get Firefly low and medium while you're using the charging mode. So it'll just be on the lower modes, but you'll have some use out of it if you absolutely have to use it while it's in the middle of a charge. As we pointed out at first, as it says on the box, the knurling here is very aggressive. It is the most aggressive knurling I've ever seen, pretty much, on a flashlight. And it almost, I mean, it gives the flashlight almost like a, not really a scratchy feel, but it has a different kind of a feel to it because this is so aggressive. I mean, this could be sopping wet, or your hands could be dripping wet, and you'd still have a firm grip on this due to all this knurling. So it's pretty much everywhere on the light. There's not very much of it which doesn't have it filling up a good part of real estate on the barrel. And as we said before, the pocket clip here is reversible, so it could go this way, or it could turn around and attach up here, and have it go in your pocket, you know, lens side up if you wanted to. So let's take a look at the beam here as I turn these other lights off. So we'll click it back on, and right now I am in moonlight, and that is dim enough that you can see like this in the dark. And moonlight, as it says here, is supposed to last for about 25 days. If you left it on continuously, you might never have the opportunity or the need to do that, but just in case you do. So this is moonlight, and then of course to change the mode you have to click the side switch. So click it up that far and you're in low, and let me shine over this way. So here we are in low, and click it again, and here's medium, and here's high, and here's turbo. So looks kind of messy in there, but turbo is pretty bright, and it has a very well focused center beam, as you perhaps can make out. And as I said earlier, the LED, or rather the tint on the LED, is very, very, very white. So it's no crazy tint colors here at all. It's just pretty much as white as it can be. And you have your spill on the side here, and pretty much no artifacts in the beam, so it looks pretty nice indeed. Now this is turbo, and if you leave it on turbo for a few minutes, there is the indication that it starts to lose a little bit of its output, and of course the temperature of the light starts to go up. It doesn't really get overly hot until after it's been on for a little while, which is pretty good, but it does get hot obviously if you leave it on long enough. A quick overview of the mode sequence here will show you that as soon as you reach turbo and then go to click it through, you get strobe. So as strobe is available from the holding press from any particular mode you happen to be in, as I was showing you a couple of minutes ago, it's also part of the sequence. So as I said, if you start sequencing through, you'll get to strobe before you get back to Firefly at the beginning of the sequence. Now, some users might like that, and some may not. But just to know that that is the way it operates, and there's no way to disable strobe in that manner, because it does not have an instant access to, I mean, strobe is actually the only mode that it does have instant access to. There is no other way of getting to any of the modes except through the sequencing. Getting to turbo means you have to cycle through the other modes to do it. Now, of course, it has mode memory, so if I go to turbo and then turn it off with a click and then turn it back on again, of course it will be in turbo right away. So you can turn it off at whatever mode you want it to turn back on, and then you'll have that mode instantly. Again, with getting to strobe, it's as easy as pressing and holding from anywhere you happen to be. So that's the operation of it in a nutshell. Let's take it outside now and show you some of the outdoor pics that I took with it recently. So follow me out there and we'll have a look at those. Okay, so there you go. That is what you see with the Powertac 1300 lumen M5. Powertac was nice enough to supply me with this light for the purposes of testing and review. So if you'd like to click the link below that you'll see in the description of this video, you can be catapulted directly to the Powertac website, where you can make a purchase and perhaps get some money off of the coupon code as well. You can also check my written review of it at lightsandgear.com, and of course you can learn a little bit more about the light, or just read more comments and see some more pictures and so forth. And there's also the purchase link within my written review too. But hope you've enjoyed the video today for the Powertac M5. Questions or comments, let me know below, and we'll discuss it. So in the meantime, thanks for watching, take it easy, and we'll see you next time for more from Lights and Gear. Alright then, have a good one, bye-bye.